The research that you did yourself, because like you said, that this was not something you were just going to sit back and take.
Yeah.
You then looked and researched and you found, is it called the Holwang? Am I saying that right?
I'm not fluent in the German, so I
think it is. I think it is. It's a clinic in Germany, Holwang, I think. And what is the process that they're looking at? Because this is pioneering.
Yes.
It's not something that the NHS look into. It's very...
I'm not going to say yes or no, but I know that in Germany, and this is just one clinic, because it came out and has gone into the news as such, like this is the definitive. I don't know if this is the. We've just heard a lot about it. Its name keeps coming up, but I think there are other places doing incredible things. Not just in Germany. There's places in Mexico we've heard of, but there is also. But that you obviously have to fund privately.
Yeah.
Within the NHS, you can get on clinical trials if you meet certain criteria. So I would suggest to anyone who maybe is in a similar situation, the other thing is you've got to ask, you've got to be proactive in asking. The NHS is fabulous. They do a fantastic, fantastic job. You have to be proactive, whether it's doing your own research or maybe just pushing people a little, saying, well, I've read about this. Is it possible that I can get this via the NHS? Ask questions, ask questions. So there is stuff going on in the UK. There is work in immunology.
And that's what it is that they're
and we're talking to some people now, but this is the area we're talking about that's going to be very,
We've just heard from our team, looking at your site, and the money's going up even as we speak. Now, £56,410 now. So, not. I don't want to be indiscreet in any way here, but this has happened very quickly to you. So I'm assuming that this is quite rapid. So if it was me, I'd want to be cracking on with this right away.
Yeah.
And is there an element of you being quite impatient, that you want to get on and find the treatment?
Yes and no. I mean, you know, one doesn't ask, and how long do you think I've got? It's not a question, because I think you don't want to be kind of boxed in to somebody else's perception. I also don't want to be boxed in that there's not other options. With, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. There's loads of other options. But I do need to crack on.
Yeah.
So we're in the process. I don't think I can afford to sit around.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
But I think you've got to find the information. You mustn't just run and, you know, panic. Got to do your research. You've got to find out what's going on.
And how hopeful are you?
Oh, I'm terribly optimistic, but I don't know if that... I don't see any other way to be. Of course, I have moments where the reality hits. You know, it's more about what you think you're leaving behind that is more difficult.
Yeah.
You know, we're all going to go to somewhere glorious afterwards, let's hope. But, no, I remain optimistic. I draw a lot on my yoga practice and spiritual practice, and just, you know, glass half full.
Yeah, precisely.
Glass half full.
And a lot of people say, you know, when the chips are down, it's that positive outlook, the positive endorphins. They're the things that, you know, can tip you the right way.
Absolutely, and they're actually doing more and more studies that if people can get... I mean, mindfulness is a great place to start. Anyone could start that. But if you can keep your mind positive, if you can keep your mind focused on hope, faith, options, try and visualise a different sort of outcome. They're saying that is so powerful in terms of people's healing.
You must be amazed at that response, though. You say you didn't really think it would go public. You certainly didn't think it would get this big.
No. Well, I didn't think people... I mean, it's a long time ago since I was in Emmerdale. I had no idea. I genuinely had no idea. I'm completely staggered that people even read about it. And also I do want to stress as well, because I know it's, you know, I'm one person going this route, and people only go this route when you really have to. Nobody wants to ask for money for whatever reason. It's quite a big decision, whoever you are, and I'm one of lots of people, and I get little bits, and I'm sure you know little bits of people's story, and you know, so I would say to anyone, if you don't want to give to my page, which I appreciate, and I would appreciate still, but go on one of these pages. If you've got £5 to spare today, and just see if there's a story that resonates and makes someone's day, and just say, I wish you well.
Well, you said
it's beautiful reading those things back when someone's made a donation.
You're very clear in the fact that you say that you are incredibly lucky to have the profile to be able to do that in the first place, but also, really, you know, maybe the steps you take will, and if you find something that is helpful, then once again that gets closer to it being available elsewhere.
I think that was another reason why I came on, because with the best, no offence personally, but obviously I wouldn't want to be sitting here. But if if there are positive discussions to be had in any way for people. I'm thinking of setting up a blog, thinking, because I'm not technically very good, you know, just so maybe there's room to have these sort of discussions, and I can bring in the sort of work that I already do. But because I've heard from so many people, it's interesting the advice that keeps cropping up that people are suggesting, and I don't know how well other people might know about this, but I'm seeing what's coming up because I'm getting so much feedback about, you know, even something simple like changing nutrition could be really, really helpful for people. And that won't cost you anything.
Yes, of course.
Just to relook at what you're putting into your body. Yeah.
We wish you well, and thank you for coming in.
No, thank
today.
you. And really, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, everybody who's it's really touched us all.
Yeah.
Though lung cancer, I have to say, is still quite a shock, because normally the criteria, you're older, you might have smoked 30 or 40 years, you know,
So you were a light smoker?
Yeah, you know, I haven't smoked for decades and decades and decades. Normally people, unfortunately, are diagnosed later. It came, honestly, out of the blue. You know, I've been teaching yoga for a few years, full-time, pretty much vegetarian, as people sort of say. I don't drink that much. Reasonably fit, I thought, for my age, and then I started to feel literally just a little bit breathless,